With the spread of the coronavirus over the last few weeks in the United States, especially over the last few days, it really has been a huge game changer. And if you've been keeping up with the news, and I'm sure you have, because everybody is glued to the TV right now and trying to get the next big update on what the government's doing, both federally and locally. And so if you're like me, you're probably exhausted from listening to the news and what the next update is and what we should be doing and should not be doing. And so I want to jump on here on Empire Your Life and let you know about some practical things that you can be utilizing this time right now for, because as you already know, the government and local and federally are recommending that you stay at home. Spend time at home, less time out, especially gathering in big groups, but not eating in restaurants, not going into as many stores or shopping or doing things that you really are not essential to day-to-day life. Try and stay away from those environments, because they are trying to slow or stop eventually the spread of this virus. And so you can do your part simply by staying home and not being involved in these large groups. And so what I want to do today is break down the 7 building blocks that you already should be working on in your life, personal life, or your business, but especially now that you have so much extra time on your hands because you're being forced essentially to stay home and not have to go out to work and have to go to the gym and do all these different things. Now you have lots of time at home, but I want to talk about some practical things that you can do in each of these 7 areas that you can use this time wisely and still improve your life and continue to build your empire. And so if you stay tuned for this video, I think you're going to get a lot out of it. Welcome back to another episode of Empire Your Life. And on this very special episode, as you can see behind me, I'm actually shooting from my own home today, because just like you, I'm at home as well with my kids and my family, and trying to stay off the streets or out of businesses as much as possible to help slow and eventually stop the spread of this terrible disease. And so before I go any further, because I do want to go into the 7 different building blocks that we're usually working on as empire builders every single day, I want to break those down here in a few minutes, which, again, is all about your spiritual life, your relationships and communication, your spiritual life, your health and fitness, just having fun, keeping your career going, and also building wealth. Even though you're at home right now, we can still focus on all of these different areas. But before we get into that, I want you to stop for a second, take a big, deep breath. I have some very good news for you. The world is not ending. And so if you are one of those that is panicking right now, freaking out, going to the store, buying a whole aisle of toilet paper for whatever reason that's a big thing right now, you do not need to do that, okay? There is plenty of resources going around that even if this continues to get worse, which it probably will, there will continue to be resources that are there and available for you. And so, look, do not panic, do not freak out. Yes, they are recommending that we stay in our homes as much as possible, but remember, they are doing this so that way it continues to slow the spread of this virus. And even if you're a young person like me, a millennial, whatever they might call it, we're not as acceptable to getting this disease and then having very negative effects that are coming from it. It's generally affecting the older population and or people that have underlying health conditions. And so, even though we're not at risk, we still can be carriers of the virus, and we can bring it back home to, our older parents, our grandparents, or if we have other siblings or relatives, that might have underlying conditions. And so you need to do your part. Everybody has to do their part right now and basically just stay home. We're essentially staying home to help slow the spread of this virus, and it's as simple as that. There's going to be lots of resources. You don't have anything to worry about. Stop panicking. The market, yes, the market is going down right now. Real estate is slowing down. Stocks are crashing down. But keep in mind that what goes down will come back up. So now it may take a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. It might be the better part of a year. but the market and everything will come back. And so if you're one of those that's freaking out right now about all that, you know, don't worry, it will come back. Stop panicking, sit still, look at the big picture, and look at the 7 different areas that I'm going to talk about here today that you could be doing and improving these areas of your life even while you're at home right now, which is really a great opportunity for you to build every single area of your empire in all of these categories. And so we're going to go ahead and jump right into the first one, which is your mindset. And this is something that, you know, I sort of opened up with on this video, you know, that you just don't need to be panicking right now. Have a calm mind and take a good look at exactly what's going on around your local area, you know, or nationally what is happening right now. And you just need to have the mindset to basically stay relaxed and look at the big picture of what exactly is happening here. And what's happening is precautionary measures are being taken to slow and eventually stop the spread of this virus. And so, you know, quit looking at things like it's so bad right now, it's so terrible. The precautionary measures that are being done right now are to keep it from getting bad or from getting terrible for every single person. And so that's why it's so simple for us just to have the mindset of actually working together to get to the end of this terrible virus. And, you know, I think if we all work together, we all do our part, we can definitely come together and be stronger in the end than we are even prior to this event. And so I really think if you just keep an open mind throughout this time, be patient and just let it play out, we're going to come back stronger and better than we ever were before. Keep that open mind, keep a strong mindset and looking in that positive direction. Also too, with mindset, now is such a great time for you to, you know, pick up books and continue to read and educate yourself, whether it's in real estate or business or any topic that you're looking to basically self-improve yourself. I know if you're like me personally, I've had goals for years now of wanting to read, you know, hundreds of books. And I continue to put it off more and more and more. Maybe read a few pages here and there, but it's so sporadic that I never even get to the end of a book. And that has been a big goal of mine, is to continue to read more, but I've been unable to do it because of time. Well, look now that we are at home and we have all of this extra time, and I know, yes, you have to spend time, you know, doing stuff with the kids, you still got to cook, you still got to take care of the house, but not having to drive back and forth to work, you're not having to drive back and forth to the gym, you're not having to do all these extra things, especially with events being canceled. You have this extra time now that you can dive into your education and continue to read more books, or even to watch YouTube videos like this one or ones that I have about real estate, and continue to educate yourself. Use this time to continue to improve your mindset and be better than you were yesterday. So, because for me, the worst thing that can happen right now is you fast forward 4, 5, 6 weeks from now and look at this time as a wasted time period in your life. And now can be such a great time in your life if you apply that energy and direction in the right way. And so please don't spend the next 4, 5, 6 weeks watching TV, looking at movies, playing video games, you know, doing things that don't really matter. So pick up a book, educate yourself, jump on a YouTube video, educate yourself, or even spend time building something. Do something on the internet. You could build a website. There's so many different things that you could be doing right now and putting together. Put together goals for yourself. Maybe, you know, the next 5 or 10-year goals, that things that you want to accomplish. And I know a lot of you out there, you know, this is something that you've been wanting to do for a long time, to sit down and put those goals down on paper, and you've been unable to do it. So now, guess what? You have the time. So put those goals down. You know, spend time working on yourself and improving your mindset so you can continue to improve your overall empire. All right, the next building block in our life is relationships, and this is such a huge one. And so, you know, look, we've all in this modern day and age have become so quote unquote busy. So, you know, how many times have people asked you to go out and do something or spend time together, and you're too busy with work or other events or other things that you have to do? Well, look, if you're like me, you do that quite often. So this is actually a great time now, because now you're no longer busy. you have the time to spend with your family, maybe some close neighbors or friends, as long as we're staying out of huge groups. But this is a wonderful time that, even if you don't get together with these people, you can give phone calls, see how they're doing, see if there's anything that you could do to help them. Send them an email, contact on social media, reach out to friends maybe that you haven't talked to in, a couple years, 5, 10 years or so. Reach out to them, see how they're doing. This is such a wonderful time that you have right now with this extra time on your hands to continue to build those relationships and make closer connections with people that maybe you lost contact with over time. And this even goes down to the family level. So, because a lot of times we get so busy with different things that we even, don't take the time to sit down and play a simple game on the floor with our kids. We get so busy with trying to build our business and make our empire better and, to go out and meet this person or have meetings here or meetings there. You have time. You have time right now. Spend it on the floor playing games with your kids. Go in the driveway, play basketball with your kids. Your wife, have an at-home date night. Cook a nice dinner, while we have this time, cook a nice dinner, even on a Tuesday night, a Wednesday night, and have some quiet time with just your spouse, drink maybe a bottle of wine, and just have a good time and have some quality time together. And, again, like I said a minute ago, don't spend time, on TV or just playing video games. Spend this time, building that mindset like we talked about, but also building those relationships. This is such a great time for you to do that. And so don't let this time go by and not have reconnected with at least one person that you haven't talked to in a while. I'm challenging you. Make it a goal, and not just one person. Let's challenge you to at least 5 people that you can connect with that you haven't spoke with in quite some time, and just continue to build that relationship from there. And so I really think that these reconnections can, maybe help you in your business as well, but will definitely help you in your personal life, because as social creatures, we need that connection with other people. And so if you're able to build your tribe and build your crew of people that you talk with and can bounce ideas off with, or people that you can count on when you need something, or you could be there when they need something, it's such a fulfilling moment and feeling that you can go through. And so make those connections. Don't waste this time. Make those connections, and especially with your kids and your spouse. Now is such a great time, so stop being busy. All right, so the third building block of life that we talk about is your spiritual life. Now, this also goes back to relationships, to where, in spiritual life, you have to have a relationship with God to some degree. You have to have a relationship. And for a lot of us, that relationship is weak because just like our regular relationships, we get so busy. So we're not reading our Bible. We're not going in prayer, not going to church. We're not doing all these different things. And our spiritual life, our prayer life, has been diminishing over time. And so with this extra time that we have at home, it's a perfect time to wipe the dust off your Bible, get in there and start reading. Read some different verses, get online. There's so many different things and resources that you could look at. And also right now, a lot of churches have been going to, more of a live YouTube or a live video stream on their websites of actually doing services, different churches. I'm not talking about any church specific, but variety. Pretty much all of them are doing some sort of live streaming right now where you could watch services in real time and continue to get messages, that they're bringing to you about the Bible or whatever messages that they're trying to cover for that day. And so take advantage of that. This is a great time to not just build those relationships with your spouse, your kids, your friends, but also that relationship with God. Spend time, reading the Bible and doing all these different things. Like for me, perfect example, I set a goal toward the end of last year so that I wanted to finish reading the entire Bible by the end of 2020. And so I was looking the other day, this is about a week ago, before they implemented all the, quarantines and having to stay at home, and all this really took off big in the United States. But I did the numbers and looked at it, and I had fallen way behind on my goal of what I needed to read every day in order to finish the Bible by the end of the year. And so this is a perfect time for me to catch up. And, I'm not pointing fingers, because as I'm saying, I am guilty as well of falling behind in my prayer life and reading my Bible and all of these different things. But now is a time for me and you to catch up. And so, I've been reading the Bible every day since I believe it was last Friday that this really kind of hit the fan. And so I've been reading it every day and really playing catch up on where I need to be. And so as of now, I think, especially with these next 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, however long it is that we're recommended to stay at home, I think that I can truly finish the Bible by the end of 2020. And really, it may even be before then with the extra time that we have on our hands. And so I am super excited to be able to get into the Bible every single day. I mean, what a great way to start your day every single day at home with, a few minutes of reading a few pages of the Bible, maybe praying with the family, and then going from there throughout the rest of your day and continuing to build your empire in all these other areas. All right, the next building block is going to be your health and fitness. And this is one I know that as soon as they started closing gyms or recommending that gyms close down, people started freaking out because now they can't go to a gym, get on a treadmill, they can't go to a gym and hit the weights, they can't go to classes together. Everybody started freaking out because now you can't go to a gym, so now you can't work out. Well, let me tell you a little secret. You don't need a gym to be able to work out. Does it make it easy? Yes. Is it fun? Yes. Do we like going, and is there other equipment there that we don't have at home? Absolutely. But you can still get a great workout at home, even if you don't have any equipment at all. So now I will say, most of us, if you're like me, at least have some sort of equipment. And so, for me, we do have a treadmill and we have a few weights at home, so I am able to utilize some of that equipment. And so I'm sure yourself as well, most people have some sort of equipment at home that, maybe they bought on the internet or a store, years ago, maybe it was a gift to them, and it's been sitting in a closet somewhere, or it's been sitting in another room and haven't used it or taken it out in quite some time. Well, now is a perfect time to use it. So take out, if you have dumbbells, if you have bands, if you have, blocks to jump on, any of this kind of stuff that you can use, now is the time to bring it out and start developing your own workouts at home. And look, if you're unfamiliar with fitness, and again, if you don't have equipment, you can still work out. But if you're unfamiliar with fitness, I know writing your own workout routines and trying to figure this at-home thing out is, a tough thing to do. But look, just like I was talking about with the different churches that are going live with their different services, also people with gyms throughout the country are going live with workouts. And you have programs like the P90X and things like that where you can do at-home videos. That was such a craze just a few years ago. I say a few years ago, maybe it was 10 years ago now. But that was such a craze that a lot of people jumped on. And a lot of those movements you're able to do with just your body weight. And so now's a great time that you could bring back those P90X workouts. And if you don't own the DVDs or anything, they offer them where you could join programs online and you could watch them online and follow along at home as well. And so really all you need is a few feet of open space and go at it. So you can either watch a video or not watch a video, but just know that there are resources out there for you that you can follow along at home, even if you're not familiar with fitness and writing programs and what you should be doing. And so look, even if if you can't look at any other resources, I do have a strong background in fitness as well. So leave me some comments below. I would love to help you. If you have some questions or comments about fitness and what you should be doing, I would love to help you. And my wife Audrey as well, she is a fitness guru, especially with nutrition stuff as well. And so if you have any questions, I'll put a link up top here as well. You can click over to the Fit, Fearless, and Faithful Mom, and she can help you with nutrition and workouts as well. But please reach out to us. Let us know if we can help you in any way. I would love to give you some ideas on what kind of workouts you could be doing. Hey, honey. So use this time wisely. Get out there, go for a walk around the block, do some running if you can, jogging. You can do push-ups, you can do sit-ups. There's so many things that you could do at home, even without equipment. So, there's no excuse over these next 4, 5, 6 weeks or however long it's going to be that you don't work out. Now, more importantly than ever, you need to focus on your fitness, because think about it. Not only do you want to try and get in better shape, and summer's right around the corner, so don't forget about that, but also by working out, it serves as such a stress reliever. And then, and right now it's such a stressful time for everybody. So, if you're able to get in there and get 20, even if it's 20, 30 minutes a day, of walking, push-ups, all these different things we're talking about, it's going to be so good for you. It's going to help to relieve that stress for you and just make you feel so much better every single day. And not only that, but it gets those endorphins going. So, now you're at home and you're going to tend to want to lean toward, more laying on the couch and watching TV and not really knowing what to do. It's just such a different environment for everybody to be at home constantly like they are right now. But if you're able to get a workout in, especially earlier in the day, it gets those endorphins going, and you're more likely to have more energy and feel better to where you want to accomplish other things throughout the day as well. Like we talked about, doing more reading, doing prayers, and some of the other things that we're going to get into as well. But you have the energy to want to and be able to do these things. And so I hope that, use this time again wisely and make sure you get your workouts in. It's such a great time to work on those fitness goals as well, that you set January 1st. And, probably by this point around mid-March or so, you've probably let go, haven't been focusing on as much. Well, now is a time for you to refocus. It's a perfect time for you to refocus on those health and fitness goals. Do it. All right, let's get into the next big building block, which is, of course, you have to keep your career going. Now, you may be telling me, well, how can I keep my career going? I mean, now is, they're shutting businesses down. I got to work from home, and my business doesn't really allow me to work from home. Well, that's exactly the point, because right now, let's take a step back here for a second. But, as a country, as a world, we have been moving to more of a home-based type business situation to where people don't have to go into work as much. And so, if you didn't have a plan at this point for, yourself or your employees to be able to work remotely or work from home to at least some degree, you are behind the curve. And so now is a perfect time for you to have time to be able to start putting ideas together, plans together, and start organizing something for your business. That way you can set up more of remote work capabilities for yourself or your employees. And that way in times like this, your business can continue to prosper and continue to grow, and you don't feel as much effects as a lot of these businesses are right now. Like, say restaurants, for example, that is one business that is very hard to do from home, because obviously you have to cook at a restaurant, be able to supply that food for people, and also have the environment for them to sit in. So that's sort of a different situation right now. But a lot of other businesses, especially, we talk a lot about real estate. As a real estate entrepreneur, that is something that I strive for and hope that everybody can, own rental properties, do flip properties, and be more involved in the real estate market, because I just think it's such a great way to build wealth. And we'll talk about that more here in a minute. But, real estate is such an easy way to build in remote capabilities for you to work from home. And so, for example, for me right now, my rental portfolio, and I'm already expecting it that, tenants are going to lose their jobs and not have money. And so we're going to have issues collecting rents over the next few months. And so I already know that that's, a problem with it. But, I think that's going to be solved by some of the stimulus programs and different things that the government, local and federally, are going to be rolling out to help real estate owners. So that way they're not suffering during this period of time. And so I think that that's going to work out. But the point is that right now, I still have my rental properties that are producing residual income for me. So even though I'm sitting at home, I'm still able to get a check every single month. I'm making money every single day off these rental properties, even while I'm sitting at home. Even when it comes to, showing properties and things like that, we have the capability of being able to do virtual showings of, videoing a walkthrough of a house or providing more pictures or whatever it might be, to where, maybe people aren't out and about as much to be able to look at properties, but we can provide them ways that they can look at these homes, sell or buy a home basically virtually without having as little contact as possible. And so, real estate is such a great way to do it. And so in your business, what can you do to make it to where you have more a plan to do remote work for yourself or your employees? This is a time for you to innovate your business. And so if you don't have those, now is the time. Work on that right now. It's so important, because if you miss this period of time here, I'm afraid that you're going to totally miss the boat, not innovate your business, and you're going to fall behind the curve, because right now the entire world, not just our country, the entire world is going to be making that shift. And one of my biggest things with real estate is title companies. And I've always said for the last few years that why title companies, we have to show up and sign for a closing. They're still requiring wet signatures. Well, that is going to be a system that I believe from this global event is going to change drastically, to where they will figure out a way that us in the United States at least can sign electronically for closings when we're buying or selling a home. And so I really think it's going to push the envelope and force the title company market and the people that make those decisions to allow us to be able to do that. And so I'm very excited about that because that's going to allow me, already having a real estate business that I do have the option of working more remotely than most. By having that title company, offering remote signing capabilities to where I can do electronic signatures is going to be amazing. And it's going to be amazing for me and also everybody else that's involved in the real estate industry, including the title companies themselves and everybody, lenders, everybody that's involved in the process. It's going to make it more efficient, more streamlined for every single person. So I really think that's going to be a benefit that comes out of this as well. And so again, if your business is not set up to work remotely, or you don't have plans to work remotely, for yourself, your employees, put that into effect now. You need to figure out those plans over these next couple weeks while you have time to think about it. And a lot of us are even being forced into implementing those plans. And so I hope that you're taking advantage of that. Don't just shut the doors and just not work for the next couple weeks. Now is a time to work on these different building blocks, these different areas of your life, but also keep working on your business. Yes, you might not be able to work in your business right now, but that doesn't mean you can't work on your business. It's a perfect time. Work on your business. This next building block of life is simply to enjoy life and have fun. And so now that you're at home, you're not having to work as much, you're not having to do, all these different things and events and, drive places and do all these different things. You have time to enjoy life and do things that you've been putting off. And so some examples of this might be playing guitar. So I know for me personally, I've picked the guitar up, on and off over several years now, and, able to play, maybe a few light songs, some chords, and have continued to get better over the years, but I haven't been consistent with it to actually get to where I want to be. And so this is a perfect time right now that I'm going to be spending a lot of time focusing on, playing my guitar so I can continue to get better at doing that, and, maybe really play some full songs and be able to, even sing along with it. And so, that is something that I want to continue to practice. And for me, I enjoy doing. I find it very relaxing to play guitar. And so what are some things that, you do to relax, or some things that you do to enjoy life? And it might be, playing building puzzles, which is something that you could rope the kids in with as well. Maybe building puzzles is something that relaxes you, or maybe it's working with wood. Maybe you have a shop in the backyard and you love going out and build furniture or birdhouses or different things for the house. Or maybe you're a manly man and you just like doing projects around the house, and that makes you feel good, makes you feel accomplished. Or maybe you like to create artwork. Now's a perfect time for you to take out that old art supplies and whether it's painting or drawing or whatever it might be. Maybe as a kid that's something that you enjoy doing and you haven't done it in quite some years. If you got the time and you enjoy doing it, why not take out a piece of paper and a pencil and start drawing some pictures? Now is a great time for you to do any one of those things and any number of other things that you enjoy doing, because you have the time now to enjoy life and do the things that you've been putting off. And so important, enjoy life during this period of time. And with everybody being really depressed and this being such sort of a hard time for a lot of different people, I know it's hard to enjoy life, but if you can do these things that you've been putting off, or things that you really enjoy doing more on a regular basis, especially every day now that you have the time, you're going to find that you feel a lot better every day, and you're just going to enjoy your days that much more. And at the end of this, again, whether it's 4, 5, 6 weeks, 6 months, we don't know what it's going to be, you're going to have made some accomplishments, and you're going to feel good at the end of it that you were able to actually get something done. You always say that you never have the time to do these things. Well, now you do. So be grateful and take every opportunity, every second of every day to do all of these great things that you've been waiting to do and enjoy. All right, so number 7 building block that I want to get into, super, super important, and is going to be a big opportunity for a lot of people right now, and that is building wealth. If you're an entrepreneur like me, or anybody that follows the stock market, investing, any of these sort of things, or especially if you've been through a crisis in the past, whether it's a hurricane event, maybe your house flooded, all of these different things. Usually when crisis or disaster happens, or the widespread of a virus like we're dealing with right now, yes, everybody goes into panic and you have hard times and there's bad things that happen to good people. but it does create opportunity. And so I see this is going to be a huge opportunity in the end for a lot of people, a lot of smart investors that are going to make a lot of smart moves during this time. And so, I hope that you're one of these people as well, because look, as the stock market is crashing down right now, it will come back up. And so, if you're an investor, maybe you've already pulled your cash out, or maybe you're letting it ride through the bottom and go back up. Well, there's going to be a point when it hits bottom there that is a perfect time for you to go ahead and invest. And if you've never invested in the stock market, this is going to be a great time for you to get involved. And look, I'm not a stock expert by no stretch of the imagination. I definitely dive a lot more into real estate, which I'll talk about here in a second. But stock market's the easiest thing, and most people can relate to it very easily because of the highs and the lows. But in that low market, throw some money in there while it's low, buy it while it's low, wait till it rides up, and it will ride up, and sell it at some point when it's high, and you can make yourself some money, turn it into an opportunity out of all this disaster and all the bad things that are happening right now. Now, the real estate market, how is this going to affect the real estate market and the things that we're doing as real estate entrepreneurs? Well, it's going to have a huge effect, because we're already seeing right now that buyers and sellers right now are skeptical about doing, open houses, having showings, because for one, sellers are afraid that buyers are going to come into their home that have the virus, touch countertops, touch different furniture, different things, and then when they go back in their home at night, they're going to catch that virus, from just people walking in constantly throughout the house. And so they're afraid to do showings right now. So we are seeing where sellers are pulling their properties off the market because they're just afraid that somebody walking through their house may be carrying the virus and leave it on countertops, furniture, or anything that they touch along the way. And so, they're pulling those properties because they don't want to catch that virus. And I think it's the right move, because a lot of people, our goal as a nation, as the world, to come together is to slow the spread of this virus. And so, if pulling the properties is helping to keep buyers from going into and doing showings, well, maybe it's the right thing to do. And same thing with buyers too. Buyers are afraid to go into other people's houses for the same reason, because they don't know who's been there before, and they don't know if the owners of that property, maybe have the virus, or somebody had the virus already, and they could still catch it. So buyers and sellers right now are very scared, and I think the market, as far as real estate, just like stocks, is going to stay basically crashing down for a little while until we sort of hit a bottom plateau and things start to go back up. And so you may be asking yourself, well, when is that point going to happen? When can we look forward to that? Well, look, I wish I had the crystal ball and I could tell you all the answers. And if anybody tells you they have that answer, they're completely lying to you. And so be very skeptical, whoever's telling you that. But, at some point, it might be when they start to, actually get the cure for the virus, or the vaccine for the virus out of clinical trials and start giving it to people. Maybe that's when hope will come back into the market again, and people will start feeling good, and it'll start to go back up. And, so that's just my 2-cent prediction there, but that's a time that I think we'll start to see an upswing in the market, especially when people are able to start getting back out of their houses again and moving around and reopening businesses, and there's confidence back in the marketplace again. I believe that's also when you're going to see the market, real estate and stocks, start to shoot up again. And so that's going to be a point that, as an investor myself, both real estate and investing in other companies, that's going to be something that I'm looking for in my portfolio over these next couple of weeks, or even couple months, because we don't know how long this is going to take. But if you're sitting on cash right now, or try and get access to as much cash as you can, hold on to that cash and just be ready, because this thing is going to bottom out and start rising like crazy fast. And so if you have cash and you're one of those people that's ready to invest and willing to invest and take that risk, there's going to be a chance for a lot of people to make a lot of money and turn this disaster into an opportunity. And so I hope you take advantage of that, and I hope you see that this can turn into something positive. And that's why I say that, we are going to come back as a whole stronger than we were before, because, a lot of smart investors, hopefully you're one of them, is going to make a lot of money and a lot of good moves throughout this process. And, there's just going to be so many great things that come from this in the end. Right now it don't seem that way, but in the end it'll work out good for a lot of people if you make the right moves. And just like we're talking about here in all these 7 different building blocks, not only making the right moves in your investments, whether it's real estate or stocks or whatever it might be, but making the right move for yourself to apply time, effort, and energy into all 7 of these areas. Because I guarantee you, if you focus on these next couple weeks, couple months, whatever time it is that we're spending at home, if you spend that time wisely, focus on improving your mindset, your relationships, your spiritual life, your health and fitness, you're still working on your career, maybe not in it, but on it, continuing to have fun and continuing to build your wealth. If you're focusing on these 7 different areas, you're going to have such great things that come out of this time that you have at home. And I think you're going to be so happy that you focused and you used your time wisely to really get some benefit out of this time. And if you have any questions, if there's anything that I could help you with in this time of need, please leave me a comment below. Let me know how I can help you out. I would love to see everybody come out of this better than they were before. And I really think all of us together will be able to continue building our empire. And so leave a comment below, and if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. I'm going to be posting some other videos that you might find helpful, especially over these next few weeks when you have a lot of time at home. And if you're somebody that's been interested in real estate and getting into investment properties, whether it's rentals, commercial property, flip houses, whatever it might be, I have a lot of videos already out there on my channel, but I'm going to have more videos that are going to be coming in the future. And so I hope that you hit that like button so that way, you can take a look at these videos, learn something from it. You have lots of time right now to, again, continue to learn about building wealth or, to improve your career if you're already in real estate. And so take advantage of that. Hit that like button, hit that notification bell too, because every time I post a new video, you'll get an alert to where you'll know, hey, hot new video out there, I need to watch it right now. And so notification bell is a great thing as well. And so thank you for joining here today, and I just hope that throughout this crisis you take care of yourself, you continue to keep yourself healthy and happy, and just enjoy this time that you have. It even though it's a hard time for a lot of people, it really could be a blessing if you do the right things right now while you have this time available to yourself and you're not busy like a lot of us typically are, especially as entrepreneurs. And so I just wish you the best. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day and continue to build your empire. Hey, thank you for watching this video, and if you haven't already, I need you to do 3 things for me. Number 1, hit that subscribe button below. Let me know you liked this video. Number 2, leave me some comments, some questions. Let me know how I can help you out in this time of need. And number 3, make sure you share this video with somebody else that may need to see it. This is a time that we all need to be working together to help each other. And so make sure you share this video. And as always, continue to get out there and build your empire.